They say that on the edge of the Bukovinian forests, in the shadow of rolling mountains, there lies a hill crowned by a monastery. The place is called Anna's Hill. To pilgrims it is a site of healing. To the devout it is holy. But to those who know the whispers of the past, it is something far darker. A hill watered with the blood of martyrs, haunted by the silent prayers of young maidens who once chose death over dishonor. It began centuries ago, when Ottoman raiders swept through the villages of this land. One summer evening, the soldiers surrounded a small settlement beneath the hill. The villagers hid, trembling, while the soldiers set their eyes on the daughters of the village, young women, pure and beautiful, whom they intended to drag into their harems. The air was thick with fear, yet amid the panic, the girls gathered together on the hilltop chapel that overlooked their homes. They were no warriors, only daughters of shepherds and farmers, but their faith was unshakable. They knelt praying aloud, their voices trembling yet resolute. They prayed not for rescue, not for victory, but for the strength to remain unbroken. They knew what awaited them if they surrendered, a lifetime of captivity, of serving men who despised their God. And so they swore to one another, and to heaven above, that they would rather give up their lives than give up their purity. The soldiers climbed the hill, torches flickering like hungry jaws in the night. The girls stood at the edge, the wind whipping their long hair across their tear-streaked faces. In those final moments, they did not scream. They did not beg. They lifted their eyes to the heavens and whispered their last prayer. Lord, receive our souls, for we will not serve the oppressor. We are yours now and forever. Then, together, they leapt from the cliffside. The soldiers rushed forward, but it was too late. The maidens' bodies lay broken at the base of the hill. The silence that followed was unbearable. Even hardened raiders stepped back, shaken by what they had witnessed. And as dawn broke, something even stranger occurred. Where the maidens had fallen, the ground bloomed with soft, silken grass. It shimmered in the sunlight like strands of golden hair, as though heaven itself had woven the memory of their sacrifice into the earth. The villagers came down from hiding, weeping, and called the place sacred. From then on, it was known as Anna's Hill, though no one could agree which Anna among them had led the prayer, for they had all become one in their martyrdom. Years turned to decades, decades to centuries. On the hill, crosses were raised, chapels built, and eventually a monastery stood, its bells tolling across the valleys. Pilgrims came to drink from the spring that gushed near the cliff, claiming it healed the sick and gave strength to the weary. But the old ones always warned, do not forget the maidens. Their sacrifice was not a fable but a covenant, and their presence still lingers. For there is one night each year, the very night of their death, when the sky itself seems to remember. As the sun dips toward the horizon and the monastery bells toll vespers, the clouds above the hill twist into shapes that no natural wind can form. Faces appear in the golden glow, pale and sorrowful, eyes closed in prayer. They hover above the monastery, their veils of light and shadow stretching across the sky. For a fleeting hour as the sun sets, the maidens return. Some say they watch over the nuns who continue their service on the hill. Others believe they guard the land from invaders still. But those who stand on the slope at dusk claim the air grows cold, and whispers, faint, trembling whispers, ride upon the wind. The voices of the girls forever praying, better to die in faith than live in chains. No one dares to speak loudly when the apparitions appear. The faithful cross themselves, kneel on the ground, and let the moment pass. When night falls and the stars emerge, the faces fade into the darkness, leaving only silence and the shimmer of dew upon the grass. By morning, the hill seems ordinary once again, its monastery quiet, its spring still flowing. But those who have seen the vision never forget, for in that brief moment, heaven itself seems to open, and the souls of the maidens remind, the living of the price of purity, of the courage of faith, and of the mystery that binds earth to eternity. Anna's Hill is more than stone, grass, and wood. It is a wound upon the earth, sanctified by sacrifice. It is a monument to the strength of those who chose to leap rather than bow. And if you ever find yourself standing at its summit, as the sun sets on the anniversary of their martyrdom, look closely at the sky, for you may see them, the spectral brides of heaven, veiled in light, gazing down with sorrow and with peace. They are there still, watching, waiting, and reminding all who listen. Faith is stronger than fear, and some prayers never die.